Hi, my name is Nikolai Yusupov. In this video I want to show you the difference between LT1200 Hamilton T-1 in terms of connection for the INOmax and utilizing the hospital dual limb circuit. So first thing I want to show you why Hamilton will be superior than LTV. So if you have a patient who exceeds 20 of PEEP, right, 20 centimeters of PEEP, this cannot deliver. So we're going to say same patient. I'm going to silence this, and if you pay attention here, I can dial PEEP to 0 or the max PEEP is to 20. I cannot exceed PEEP of 20. So if your patient has a PEEP of 22 or 23 or 24, 25, right, this ventilator cannot deliver it. So 20 is the max PEEP. I'm going to turn this off, right, and here I'm going to show you the Hamilton ventilator. So in the Hamilton, right, I'm going to put controls, right, and you could see, right, in this mode, right, CMB plus, we could adjust the PEEP, right, from 0 all the way to 25. So if your patient needed above 20 centimeters of water pressure, right, of above 20 of PEEP, this ventilator can deliver it. So that's number one. This is what I wanted to show you. So this is superior. But how we're going to connect our circuit, right? So usually we want to use a dual limb. You cannot use an LT1200 circuit. Why? Because on LT1200 circuit, yes, it's dual limb, but you have these two sense lines, right, which connect to the LTV, right? And right, the thought process is you could just, you know, tape them off or basically tie them together. But if the patient is getting 20 of PEEP or above 20 of PEEP, right, this is not really good because you'll have some air leakage. So LT1200 circuit is not the best to employ. So you'll say, okay, so what we're going to use, right? Here I'll show you some circuits. So I'm going to show you how to connect essentially Hamilton circuit with the INOmax. So what you're going to need, you're going to take your regular standard limb Hamilton circuit. I already opened one here, right? And from this single limb circuit, you're going to basically take this expiratory valve, which is connected on end. You're just going to disconnect it, and this is the sense line, which you're going to take off. So all you really need, right, you don't need this part. This is the single limb. The reason why the INOmax ideally you want a dual limb is because when you combine nitric oxide with oxygen, you're going to make nitrogen dioxide, which is basically a toxic gas to the patient. So you want to basically eliminate. The single limb may not offer that, right? That's why you need a dual limb. So I'll show you what you really need essentially from that single limb. You're going to need your sense line and the expiratory valve, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to connect this expiratory valve, right? This is the expiratory portion of it. You're going to take this off, right? Be careful not to lose this piece, right? You really need this, otherwise you're going to get a leak. So take this off, connect it like here, and it just twists in, right? So this is done. Now, this is, I'll show you, this is the hospital circuit. This is called Ventilator Circuit Adult by Medline, right? It comes in the packaging, and all you're going to need is 2 bacteria filters. So here I have this, right? This is exactly how it comes from the packaging. I just opened it, right? It's very simple. You see, it's basically 2 limbs, right? And the Y, 2 limbs. And all I did was, at the very ends, I put 2 filters, 2 bacteria filters, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to say one side is going to be the expiratory limb and the other side is going to be the inspiratory limb. The inspiratory limb is the limb that all the INOmax components get connected to. You're going to tell me which one is which. It doesn't really matter, right? So we're going to say, let's say we take this limb, right? This limb, this is going to be our expiratory limb. So the expiratory limb has the filter, right? And it's going to get connected like so, right? So expiratory limb is done. The next part is the inspiratory limb. This is the part that's very important. This is where everything is going to get connected to. So first part, right? I'm going to split this Y and we're going to connect the Nephian tubing. I don't have the Nephian tubing for the sample lines. This is how it senses how much nitric oxide the patient is getting. So what I did was I basically just took a nebulizer, pretend this was the Nephian tubing. All you're going to do is you're going to split your Y, right? And you're going to connect the Nephian tubing sample line. You're going to have about 6 to 12 inches of corrugated tubing, a tubing like this, that's going to sit here, right? And this is going to be the Nephian sample line that connects it to the INOmax unit. And from here to here is about 6 to 12 inches. This is just a placeholder, right? This is going to go into the INOmax unit, right? But this is just a placeholder. So we got the inspiratory limb, Then I'm tracing it all the way down. Here you need about 18 to 24 inches of tubing, so that when the nitric oxide comes out from the injector port, right, it's about 800 parts per million, right, you don't deliver all of that to the patient. So this part, right, is going to come and connect to this port. This is the inspiratory port. So what you're going to do is as follows. This is going to connect like so. Here you're going to connect your injector module. This is the injector module that connects to the INOmax unit. And then this tubing is going to go into the injector module. Since I don't have the injector module here, I'm just going to connect this like so, right? So just again, bacterial filter, injector module goes to the INOmax. This port connects here, right? And then I'm going to trace. So this is my inspiratory limb, right? Right, and you see this was my Nefian sample line. All you really need to make sure your Hamilton T1 works, you're going to take this part off, and anything like capnography or anything like that, it's going to be connected on this portion here. So your capno is connected here, and then we talked about this is the sense line that I took off the Hamilton. You need this, right? So I'm going to connect it like so. Ideally, you want to position so all your sense lines are pointing up, so that if any condensation builds in the circuit, it doesn't travel into your sense line. So capno and the sense line of the Hamilton pointing up. This sense line that I'm holding in my hand is going to connect into your Hamilton. Split here, right? White goes into white, blue goes into blue, right? So this is how you have a dual limb connection in order to deliver your INOmax. So let me untangle the entire circuit so you could see it with me. Maybe you could step back so you could maybe you could stand over there and you could trace it out. Right? So I'm gonna start out first with the expiratory limb. All I did is put the expiratory valve, right? Nothing connects to the expiratory limb. Then then the Y. This is your Nefian tubing connected to the INOmax unit to sample how much nitric oxide the patient is getting, tracing all the way back on the inspiratory limb, all the way in the inspiratory limb. Here, right, we will have our injector module, and this will be connected here, right? And at the very front, right, we have your capnography, right, and you have your Hamilton, right, sense lines, which are going to be pointing up. So if the condensation builds, it doesn't seep into these lines. This is how you would connect, right, a dual limb circuit in order to run your INOmax with Hamilton T1 ventilator.